Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to BTV Kenya. Welcome to BTV Live. Today we are very much privileged this afternoon to host with us Honorable Dr. Mallan Ogega, who is a guest in the studio with us, and also today, the 23rd of December 2024, we brings you greetings, the Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Before we kick on this, remember you can follow us on Facebook page, that is Blackman TV Kenya. You can also follow us on YouTube, BTV Kenya. Remember to leave a comment. Just visit our pages, leave a comment so that we know where you are viewing us from. We brings you debate and discussion on matters that affects Migori County and the Republic of Kenya at large. Now, allow me to take this opportunity to introduce my guest, to give him an opportunity to say a word or two of welcome. Welcome, Honorable.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Isaiah. I am Honorable Mallan Ogega. I represented the people of Ragana Ruba in 2017, sorry, where I also served the House as a leader of majority. I am a married man with kids. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, as you just heard, Honorable Mallan served in the Migori County Assembly as the majority leader.
Yes.
That is in 2017 to 2022, and he was elected as a member of Migori County Assembly from Ragana Uruba Ward.
Yes.
We thank God because he's here with us. We want to discuss matters that affect Migori County and the entire Republic of Kenya. I'm your host, Gagi Isaiah. Now, just to jumpstart what we want to discuss on.
Yes.
Now, we are in the Christmas seasons.
Yes.
What is your advice? I a bit know you more extensively as a teacher before you joined politics.
Yes.
What is your advice to young people now that we are in the Christmas festive seasons? What can you say to them outside there?
Thank you very much. Allow me to take this chance, first of all, to wish everybody a Merry Xmas and Happy New Year in advance. You also allow me to take this chance to give my piece of advice to the youths of this country, not only Migori, but the youths of the country at large, that it's a time that people really feel that they really want to celebrate and enjoy and merry. But I only want to give them a word of advice in one statement, that can we do things with moderations? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Doing things with moderation. I also know you to be a Christian, to be a believer, somebody who holds Christianity with a lot of strength, like you have it at heart.
Yes.
So we'll also be discussing matters that involves the church and the state at some point.
Thank you.
But before we get into that, you have been into politics. That
Yes.
is from 2017 to 2022.
Yes.
And comparing during that time and now, what can you say is the current state of politics in Migori?
Thank you very much. I really want to say that I've been in politics from 2015.
Yeah.
But I was elected as a representative in 2017. I want to say that over this period of time that I have made one observation, that the political temperatures in the county, at some point there, it was seriously rising, coming prematurely. But right now it's like it's at a level, it's still a bit high, that I pray that it should come low because we are not yet there. So what I would say is that I find there's a drop in the way it's being done in the recent past, but just before then, some little time back, around 2 or 3 months down the line, it was really charged. Yes.
Is it good for the county development if people are doing politics at the time that we need them to serve the people of Migori County?
Isaiah, I believe there is a time for everything. There's a time to do politics, and then there's a time to elect the leadership out of the people who have done the politics, and then there's a time to serve the people. Now, if we bring this together, that we want to do politics and serve, in my opinion, yes, but we will not reap much. Remember, the essence of doing elections that come as a result of politics is to get service delivery. Now, if you bring in politics in the midst of service delivery, then believe you me, what we will reap will not to the maximum.
So, in your opinion, you are advising the politicians in Migori to tone down political temperature.
Exactly.
So that things may normalize, so that they will be working.
Exactly. You know, we are in the middle of the journey. We did our elections in 2022. We are in 2024, yes. Entering 2025 very soon. Yes. So you look at it, we shall have our elections in 2027. So we are kind of just in the right middle of everything. So if we want to do politics when we are in the middle of things, where are we headed to?
I get you.
Yes.
I get you.
Yes.
Now, many politicians, you being one of them,
yes,
before you elected into office,
yeah,
you people make promises.
We do.
Like you say, in 100 days, you would have accomplished this.
Yes.
Within 90 days. And so, right now we see in the county of Migori,
yes,
Governor Ochila Yako,
yes,
actually he was elected in 2022.
Yes.
And has been serving. And many people have been saying that it's not working, it's not delivering, and they are kind of saying the former governor, Obado, worked. Not saying that Obado had served for 10 years, while Dr. Chilayako only this now the third year since he was elected in the office.
Yes.
Now, what can you say to these people who are saying that things are not working in the county, the governor is not working? You have been in politics.
Yes. I want to say that when we are elected, we get elected on a platform on things that you promise members of the public. This would make people to elect a person X, leaving a person Y on the manifesto that you sold to them. Now, I tend to imagine that it's still a little bit early to say that Governor Ochilo is not working, because every person, what you do is measured at the end of the 5-year period. But again, in between, people do checks on what you're doing, because all this that we do in terms of development are pegged on the budget. All right?
Yeah.
So if the first budget is read and they see very little, the second budget is read, they see very little in terms of implementation, then I think people will start talking. The mind becomes, they will be speculative that now that this is not happening, what is it that is happening if they don't have tangible things to count? But meanwhile, it should remain that all the leadership that we elected in 2022, we give them up to 2027. That does not mean that people cannot criticize. I'm talking about positive criticism. It's different from doing politics. Yes. Yeah.
Now, you having served as an MCA,
yes,
Raganu Ruba Ward, and also majority leader of the county assembly then,
yes,
and many people have been saying that the MCAs are not working. I want you to help us understand what are the roles of MCA, what are the parameters, where should they reach, and where should they not go overboard? What is it that they should be doing and that they should not be doing? Is there allocation from the national government for the MCAs, or MCAs are dependent solely on the county government's budget?
Isaiah, let me tell you, it is quite a challenge to be an MCA. I tend to imagine that in all these 6 elective positions, I have not been an MP, I've not been the president, but I've been an MCA. And I tend to think that MCA has too much to take. There is that very high expectation. Why? Because you are with everybody at the lower cadre there. You are the first person, the first leader that everybody reaches. So the expectation is too high, yet in terms of what you can do financially and economically, it is too low against a very high expectation. So MCAs face a lot of pressure given what people expect of them against what they are able to do. And some of them, or some of us bring this pressure on us unknowingly, especially when we are looking for votes. We really give pledges as MCA, I'll do you this, I'll do you this, I'll do you this. But when you now come to the reality, you find that you don't control funds. You don't have a direct control over the funds. You remain with the role of oversight. You don't execute. So if I promised you or I pledged you something, after electing me, I realize that whatever project that I may want to be done is not directly under me. Or rather, I do not have direct control over it.
So in other words, my question is, what are the perimeters? What are the role of MCA? What is it that is expected of them? Because people are saying MCAs are not working. MCAs are not working.
Now, MCAs have about 3, but let me separate them to 4 major roles.
Yeah.
Number 1, the MCAs do legislation, right?
Yeah.
They make laws at the assembly, okay? Yeah. Number 2, they do what we call oversight. Things that have been implemented are done by the executive. So it is the role of the MCA to come and oversight all these that were implemented by the executive. So they oversight on the projects. They don't implement. And then number 3, they represent. He represents his electorate at any level, in whichever function, at the assembly. He speaks on their behalf. Those are 3. I've talked of legislation, I've talked of oversight, I have talked of representation. And then they also approve of the budget. All right? The budget is prepared by the executive, but approved by the assembly. So those are mainly the 4 main.
So the narrative that MCA needs to construct roads, MCA needs to build schools, that is classroom, the ECD, these are null and void. They don't exist anywhere. The
understanding of the people on the role of the MCAs is still a little bit low, to be very candid with you.
Yeah.
People imagine that we should implement or we should execute, whereas the MCAs do not have that role. They should oversight. It is the executive. Actually, that thing that is missing in an area should belong, it's the responsibility of the governor and his ministers, the CC members, plus his staff. It is them to execute, all right, to implement. And then the MCA come to oversight. Is it there? They promise a school should have been here, an ECD classroom should have been here. Is it here? From the budget, some water should have been drilled at Kamadaga. Was it drilled? From the budget, a dispensary should have been constructed at Lichotakojuang or at Namba. Is it done? So the work of the MCO now, you oversight on the projects that are being implemented by the executive.
Now, Mheshimiwa, you are in politics, and as we speak now, you are out of limelight.
Yes.
What's next for you?
Think I was in politics, but right now I've toned down. But I'm still a politician.
Are you coming back?
I'm giving the people elected time to execute on the promises and the pledges and the dreams of their manifestos to Wananchi. Because at the end of it all, Mr. Isaiah, it is the service delivery, which I equally need as a citizen.
Yeah.
So for now, we are giving them time. That does not mean we don't oversight or we don't criticize or we don't give an opinion over anything that may call for such.
But I remember you also campaigned, you also made promises to people.
Yes.
Did you deliver them?
Let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, you know, this representation, it's an opportunity that given to you by God through the people.
Yeah.
You can't convince me that I didn't perform. Let me tell you why I believe I performed, and that is the reality. Number 1, all that we do at the assembly in terms of our duties, we get ranked by different bodies. So I took over when my predecessor, Mheshimiwa Hezron, Baragana was number 18 in the entire county.
Or 40 wards.
Of the, out of the 40 wards. Yes. So when I took over, I brought it to number 12, the first financial year. The second financial year, I was number 7. The third financial year, I was number 3. Finally, when we were now concluding on the last budget, I was number 1 in Migori County, where I was invited, where I was ranked by the Gala Awards as the best MCA of Migori County. And we celebrated in Mombasa. Seriously. You remember, you do remember? Yes, I was the best MCA and second best in Nyanza. So at times when people elect, the parameters by which the members of the public judge people, at times you don't understand. Because if it's work, yes, I did. You cannot tell me I didn't work, yet as was categorized
as the best.
As the best. After looking into so many things. Yeah, so that definitely tell me that I worked and my conscience is very clear. Yes.
Now, you worked. Actually, I've heard of people saying that you see this and this road, Mheshimiwa Masara helped this road to be there. It was not there, it is there. Yes. But in equal measure, people also did accuse you severally that you never worked, that when it came to a time that they needed you, you are not available. But this particular one is so much outside there. I don't believe you did it, but now you are on air, you can share with them and say, they say that when it reached time when you are supposed to meet those who elected you, you would sleep in your car, people will not see you. So can you help them understand this? Now you are on air, you are able to understand this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
In politics, people will always form a narrative, okay?
Yeah.
And especially if you have a smart opponent, he or she may form a narrative, negative to work as a tool of down-bringing you, okay? Now, yes, that was said that I wasn't there. But ask them now, because you know, you can only criticize, you can talk negatively before you compare one with the other. So right now that they are comparing, they see that I was so much available, except there are things that they don't understand. As a leader of majority, I had a lot of responsibility to be at the assembly. Remember, I was also a leader in the assembly. As a leader of majority, so I must be there on time, and I must also be here to serve the people. So balancing people here, actually balancing on the needs of the people at times is a challenge, because you didn't need to go and do the work that they elected you to. You rush to the assembly, but you get probably 20 or 30 have come to your home. They are seated every day. They want you to attend to them. You listen to them every day. But you also have a duty to do at the assembly. So when you try to do the balancing, they kind of say, you've not done me what I want. When you pass with your vehicle, you rush to go and do. The reason why I became number 1 on all these, and I can count with the projects that even my successor may not, and even my predecessor may not, is because I was trying to balance on things. I could give them about 30 minutes to hear them, rush to the assembly. Remember me, I was operating from my home. Whereas other MCAs, they live probably nearer to the nearer town, so that they can access the assembly on time. All right? But me, now that my home is just not very far away from the assembly, so I would operate from my home. So every day you attend to people, every day you rush to go to the assembly to execute the duty for which they elected you. So their judgment was wrong. The parameters for judgment was wrong, but I would accept it because they had passed a verdict.
Now you said if I would not mind, you would mention some of the things that they would point out that they do, which even the current sitting MCA does it not.
We cannot. We don't want to. We want to be very fair. We cannot judge the current government. Let me use the word government. We cannot judge them that they have not done much, because they have only gone halfway the journey. Me, I went fullest. So, but what would help us, as I told you, you would count that what is it that I did vis-a-vis what the current or the whatever has done within the span of 2 years. So if I did 20 and I expect them that by now they should have done 10, because these things are done through a budget that comes yearly. So if somebody has done less than that in terms of duties, then we would tell you you've not done much. Yeah. So if you count all these all these primary schools that we have in Ragano Ruba, 22, all of them have ECDs, which were done in a span of 5 years. Go to Milimani, go to Nyangubo, go to Ruba Primary, go to Keyo, go to Migori Primary, go to Deep, go to Wotogik, go to Asar. All of them in a span of 5 years. I did 3 bridges. I did a bridge at Milimani, okay? I pushed and it was done as my role, okay? So if I say the word I did, those, of course, those things, they don't come from the blues. You must follow up, you must oversight thoroughly and push for them to be done. So there's a bridge at Milimani, there's a bridge at Kadiang, there's a bridge at Kanyaganda. Those are 3 bridges that were done within that span of time. I opened up very many roads. When you come to roads, we opened up so many new roads. Adero Tabaka Road, a road from, there's so many of them, I don't want to count them now because it would eat up into our time.
So you have said that you did a lot.
Yes.
Now, out of Migori politics.
Yes.
We have seen, I want you to help us understand, as somebody who has been the majority leader in the county assembly, it also, I believe, similar. Your role is kind of similar to the role of the members of the parliament in the National Assembly.
Yes.
Your role
almost
then was kind of similar.
Yeah.
Now, we did see the impeachment
yes.
of Rigathi Gachagua,
yes.
the former Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, who was impeached, is out. We know constitutionally, once you are impeached, you are doomed politically. Nowhere to go. You can't be elected in any political office. You cannot serve Republic of Kenya at any capacity. But we still see Rigathi Gachagua going around doing politics. Do you think he's getting anywhere with whatever he's doing currently?
Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. But let me make a correction.
Yes.
Impeachment is not the end of the road. Because by law, you take 10 years in the cold. Thereafter, you can make a comeback. But you look at Rigathi Gachagua, in my opinion, he's just trying to be a kingmaker. Okay? Now that he was impeached, he's trying to be a kingmaker in his constituency, where he calls my people every day. So it's just trying to be the one who would dictate who is to be elected and who is not to be elected, and their things and how they would be happening. Okay? So it's kind of just trying to be a kingmaker, or just to be a lord, some lord behind, lord in quotes, yeah? That would dictate on how things happen and who is getting elected and all that.
Do you think he's getting anywhere? Because we did see when he was kicked out,
Yes.
Kithure Kindiki came in.
Yes.
And this did see a split in Mount Kenya,
Yes.
the eastern and the western Mount Kenya.
Yes.
There was a split.
Yes.
And still there were still people crying
Yes.
against President William Ruto. And recently, a week ago, last week to be precise, the president of the cabinet ministers, and he did chop some parts to Mount Kenya. Do you think whatever he's doing is giving him a mileage come 2027?
Isaiah, politics is politics. When this thing happened, I want to tell you that the community, the Gachagua community, were really behind him, and they really felt it. But the president, being a politician, he saw that, and he knew that he would go with a chunk. He would go with a chunk. He would go with a good chunk, of course. But he's countering him. The presidency is countering him. The president, sorry, is countering this act of impeachment plus the pull that Gachagua will go with. And that is why you saw recently he visited with the former president. After consultation, his men were also incorporated in the government. You saw that very well. So the influence and the emotion that the people had when Gachagua was dropped, the percentage has dropped. The people following up to a certain level, a percentage is dropped. So that means you will not just have it a whole chunk. No. So with the incoming of the gentlemen that were appointed, I really don't think that that would be really so much standing. And given the fact that the former president is like has also sided with the president, so you know he's a man with a following as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they call him Kamwana, and at some point they started regretting why they did not take his direction.
Yes.
So now that he's with here, there are people who will automatically follow him, because in life, men follow men. All right? Men follow men. As a leader, we only call you a leader because you have a following. So the following behind Uhuru will definitely go his direction. In this case, the way things seem is that they will go to support the president.
Now, I didn't tell you earlier, but remember, this is where you expect the unexpected.
Yes.
Having mentioned, talking about the following,
Yes.
coming back to our county,
Yes.
we have seen Honorable Peter Masara, Sona West Member of Parliament, coming out very vocal.
Yes.
He wants to be the next governor of the Republic, of Migori County.
Yes.
And we have also seen Mark Nyamita out, is also pushing forward. He wants to be, actually, the other time we did hear him crying, say, please leave me this man alone. Leave me this man alone. I pray that you leave me this man alone. He's also there.
Yeah.
We also see John Pesa is out. I believe those are the major three who are now like kind of want the seat, are very much hot for the seat. They say we are going for this. And we have also seen the governor. You said a politician is a politician, being very tactical. What he did, the speaker was out. He brought in the speaker from West.
Yes.
And we have also seen, after bringing in the speaker from the West, and he has also is bringing in the former contender, that is Obiero Liege, who contended against Masara fiercely.
Yeah.
He's also coming in his camp.
Yes.
And we have also seen he has also given a minister to Sona East,
Yes.
that is Minister for Water,
Yes.
who was sworn in some few weeks ago. You also give him. Do you think, with this kind of political plans, do you think Masara and Nyamita and Nani has a place, in your opinion?
Thank you very much, Asa. Let me tell you that so far, those are the only interested people who have declared their interest. Though in my opinion, it's coming too early. But I heard one of them say that if you want to go for a journey tomorrow, you prepare today. Okay, but in my opinion, if that kind of narrative is allowed to really continue, it would affect performance. All right, but they have their democratic rights and they have declared their interest, and that is okay. So what I'm saying is that for now there are only about four that you have counted.
Yeah.
Many more are yet to come because it's not yet time. All right. Now, I want to assure you that if many more come, because almost every candidate who will be going for that position would get a following. I've told you, men follow men.
Yes.
Regardless of the numbers. And you know, politics are a game of numbers.
Yes.
So, that take advantage. Believe me.
So the more they come,
Yes.
the governor is having more chances of getting back to the position he was.
Yes. You know, the incumbency, I would say, up to now, has a chunk of his support almost everywhere. Okay? In almost every sub-county and in every village. They may not be very many, but they are there. Okay? And those are his. But any other candidate that comes in, I would tell you they eat up into the rebellion, or to the rebels, sorry, okay? Because you would get that maybe when we went for the elections in 2017, the incumbent, the governor now, right, the Honorable Chilo had the number of votes that he got, okay? But over a period of time, he must have lost some because their expectations are not met. So that means there are people that still believes in him, and here we have people who don't believe in him. And these people who do not believe in him, fine, there may be many. But if we have so many candidates contesting, I want to assure you that the many they are, each and every candidate will split, have a chunk, small one, small one, small one. At the end of the it all, the incumbents will still rule.
Now, coming back to you.
Yes.
You lost in 2022.
Yes.
Honorably.
Honorably. I accepted, and I accepted the defeat, yes.
Now, what is your plan?
Thank you.
Come 2027.
It's a good thing. My plan now, as we talk, I am a farmer. All right? I'm doing farming as we talk. I am a businessman. I do business as we talk. I'm also trying entrepreneurship. I do that as we talk. I will do politics at the right time. But for now, I think I am in this other field.
Do you like kind of plan to come back come 2027? Or you don't want to, you want to that to remain obsolete?
Isaiah,
you want to speak about it?
Can you remain watching at the pace? In 2026, all right? In 2026, I don't need a lot of introduction. They know, and they compare, all right? So in 2026, watch the pace.
So are you going to come, because you said I watch the pace, that means that you are kind of coming back. Are you going to go back to the same position, the same role as member of county assembly, or you are going for the higher position? Because the higher position is kind of, to some extent, is going to remain vacant.
I am telling you, watch the pace. Watch the pace. You know, these things, you don't just go for it for the sake of things that you want it. But you really have to listen to the ground. If I may borrow the language of the former president, deputy president, you have to listen to the ground. Ground nasema nini? Yes.
So you are listening to the ground.
And that's why I'm telling you, watch the pace.
And the ground is going to be hot because you remember the border president. We are also having hearsay that is coming to contest. So you have to think of that.
Yes.
Because he has the chunk of the border riders.
Yes.
So you have to consider that. You have to listen to the ground so carefully.
Yes.
So that you don't miss anything.
And that's why I'm telling you, watch the pace, listen to the ground. Yes.
A leader must have a follower.
Definitely.
Good. And you have been a leader. I believe you're a leader.
Yes, I am.
What are you doing right now as a leader that is impactful to the members of the society or a place where you live within? Because I don't believe everything was done when you lost. You're a leader. What are you doing right now for the people? Because you must not be a politician to be there for the people. Thank you very much.
I say I'm a leader, whether in politics or not. These people gave me their votes, and they made me be whom I am. I have a title that will go with me under the ground, the honorable title. It remains until you die. And that one aside, the status that I have acquired in this area that we live, rather, I am a leader. So I will still do what pertains leadership and what is required of leadership without a fail. Anywhere, I participate in the Arambes, all right? I give the little assistance for the people who come to me. When I have, when I don't, I don't. And every other thing that pertains leadership, I do. I don't think I've failed anywhere to do what is right.
Now, you said Arambes.
Yes.
You get to there.
I do.
And mostly, the Arambes are today mostly conducted in churches.
Well.
Now, we did see the Catholic came out and said they don't need any money, any donation from the president. And actually, they gave back the money that the president gave. And that's a church. And we also did see some other members of the church coming in and say, we accept the donation that the president is giving. We don't have a problem with that. And we categorically, we did see the president of PEFA Kenya, Daktari John Ogega, coming out and saying they are welcoming the donation from the church. Yesterday, it is still in the paper, People Daily newspaper, where we see the SEK leadership say they welcome the donation from the president. Is the church breathing cold or warm at the same time?
Have you said the SEK?
Yes, Anglican Church of Kenya.
Because the other day, the leader,
Ole
Sapit, really condemned, and it was not for the opinion, or rather, was not in support of getting.
People Daily newspaper.
Okay, but
what is the church breathing hot and cold at the same time on this matter?
In my opinion, the church is split. That is my opinion. It's like the liturgical churches speak a different language from the evangelical churches. All right? If you look at what the Catholic Church has been saying, and if you say, I'm not aware of this thing that you're saying, but as far as I'm concerned, up to last week, the Anglican Church was also known for the donation. And they stand that they don't want it because they feel this money is got in a bad way. It's a money that is gained out of corruption or something of that kind. But I saw the evangelical churches led by Bishop Nani the Bishop of which church was that? Kariuki led the people to the president. I saw Bishop Professor, by the way, it's now Professor John Okinda, also saying that they are ready as a perfect church, or perfect churches Kenya, we are ready to accept it. So those are the evangelical churches. You see, they're on the other side, and the liturgical churches are also this other side. So that makes them not to speak as a unit. How I wish, because in governance, Isaiah, you cannot wish away church as part of governance. All right? Church is part of governance, because the people in church are the people that are led in the political way again. So if they would come together, be one thing, and speak as a church, whatever they say would be meaningful. But if this group say this, the other group says the other thing, then it loses the meaning. It loses the meaning. So they don't, to me, I'm getting a bit confused with what the church is saying. I wish they were talking as a people, the way it has been in the previous times. Wherever matters arise, they have always stood as a church. So we say, the church says this, but today what we say, the liturgical says this, the evangelical says this, which is not very good. They are divided. In my opinion, I wish they spoke as a unit.
But again, in your opinion,
yes,
should the church accept the donation from the state, from the politician?
That is, you say that I also have church background.
Yes.
And I'm in church and I know. There is a lot of debate over that. If you asked what we call the scholars, the biblical scholars, right?
Yeah.
They would have a lot of argument. A group would say that the gift in itself gets sanctified through prayers. The gift is not holy. So when they prayed over it, so it gets sanctified and it becomes holy.
Yeah.
All right? Somebody says that, you see, all this means that people look for, all ways and means that people look money for and they bring to church. Not all of it is really okay. But that's a belief. There's a section that believe that when you put it there, they pray over it, it gets sanctified and it's okay. I think that is the kind of aspect that the evangelical churches try to emulate. But whereas there's also another feeling, rather another thought from the other end, that the monies that are acquired through dubious means, through corruption, that money is not really okay. It is not worth serving God. So I've given the two aspects that exist.
So you are neither supporting the government donation to churches, and neither are you criticizing it.
But
you can't stand in the middle on this matter. If today they approach the church where you fellowship, will you tell the clergy that please don't take the money, or please take the money? You have to
How many donations have there been? How many donations have there been?
I mean, the donation from the state, that is the members.
If we have organized for a fundraiser, all right, and we invite guests, and the president brings his, who am I to judge? Why would I just imagine? Because are you getting my argument?
I'm getting argument.
We have organized for a fundraiser, or the authority, the president has visited with us, and he has said, I have brought this to the church for the construction or for the doing of, rather for the any development. Who am I to judge? Why would I judge? Who told me that this exact man that was brought here, the very, very man, came out of corruption? Who told me? Can you tell me? Who told me?
You you have a better answer to that.
So I don't judge. Let God judge.
So what is corruption?
Corruption.
You wanted to
Using dubious means to acquire things in the illegal way.
So it means that in your opinion, you are saying it is okay. If a politician comes for a fundraising and has given a chunk of his contribution to the church for a fundraising, it is okay.
Let me tell you,
in
Isaiah.
your opinion.
Let me tell you, Isaiah. You know, you're using the word a politician, all right? Where I am one, and I was one, and I went to Arambes. I never, I don't have any monies that I got through dubious means. If I take my 5,000 shillings, it is mine. I am a politician, but I've taken it in service and in honor to God. What's wrong with that money?
I don't know.
You cannot
I only ask.
We cannot blanketly judge that all politicians have money from corruption. No, I don't encourage corruption, because me as Mallan, I have never been corrupt. Anything I have, I can account for it. All right? However small it is, I can account for it. I don't encourage corruption. So if we invite a politician and he feels in his heart that he wants to give to God, who are you to judge? Let God judge him.
But not you to take the part of God.
You know, until you tell me that that very money, unless he comes and says this money was arrived from this kind of deal through dubious means, but I brought it here, that I would have a different thought. But if I've just come and I dip in I dip my hands into my pocket and bring the 5 million and I drop it there, or I give it there in service to God, who told you that that very money that I brought is a product of corruption? People have different investments.
Okay.
Okay.
You are a leader.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
We are in charge.
Yes.
Recently,
Yes.
before what's happening currently, we did see the church. We did see a church is being divided. Many churches are dividing themselves, beginning from PEFA. And we move, there is this church, how do we call it? It has been in existence for some time. It is getting, this church where Bishop Joe Pio fellowship, it was.
I know it, but I've forgotten the name. I don't know where it is. Is it the? Yeah, I know it.
Yeah. There's a division there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Like from the national to the lowest people.
Yes.
And right now we see PEFA is also being divided. Whether you like it, it is in the domain. It is in the public domain. You cannot run away from that. What is your opinion about the church being divided on its own? Within itself.
To this far, in my opinion, PEFA, to the far that we have reached, we are not yet divided yet. But we have people holding different opinions, all right? Different opinions and philosophies, all right?
Oh, the church was full gospel churches.
And the full gospel churches, yes, thank you. But so for the perfect church, in my opinion, people are just holding different opinions. Any matters of election are very emotive, and they leave cracks. So after having an election as a PEFA, I know there were different cracks, all right? Because when your expectations are not met, you may want your feelings and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, blah. So these are just but aftermaths, just a wave in the cup. It will cool down.
I think I was not supposed to ask you that question. I'm going to look for Bishop that is in charge of this region, because in the past week, the week that just ended, they know I go to PEFA.
Yes.
And somebody was asking, how come you people are having two camps at the same time and you have the same region divided into two? I think we'll be able to explain that further.
Oh, yeah, I think Bishop will answer you, but I just
not really our bishop, but I'm going to look for the presiding bishop.
Okay, thank you. I think he's in a position to tell, but obviously it's that people are different camps, okay? And towards the election, people are different camps. and elections were done. And those are aftermath. People are not healed. But if you look at them, people just trying to imagine that we have different camps, but their subscription go to the same account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the Full Gospel Churches of Kenya, well, we must say that must have been a shake-up in the recent past. Churches are splitting. That is very true. Though I'm saying the perfect not yet. Churches are splitting.
That's what I was saying.
But Isaiah, some are splitting out of greed for power, and some are also splitting because of poor administration. But if the split can lead to the better spread of the gospel, let them split. Because even Paul and Barnabas, they had to part ways. They differed on principles. Okay? So Paul went
a different route,
and Barnabas also led another group to a different route. But what is important that at the tail end, do they converge again in Christ? Yeah?
The gospel was preached.
Thank you.
We are in the festive seasons.
Yes.
People are celebrating. Young people are celebrating. Not just wishing them Merry Christmas, but we believe there is more. There's rampant accidents in there. You have a family, we have a family.
Yes.
What can you tell the residents of Migori when it comes to festive season? It comes with a lot of challenges. As a leader, as their leader,
thank you,
who have them at heart.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Isaiah. I still want to say what I had said, that in everything that we do during this festive season, let us remember to do things with moderations. Whatever thing you are doing, moderate. Do not over-exaggerate. Do not overdo, because if you overdo, it will lead you to another thing that you didn't expect. So whether you are a drive on the road, do it with moderation. All right? Whatever thing, whether you are celebrating, do it with moderation. That is my word over this season.
Okay.
Yes.
I have to preserve some of my questions because I know you're going to come and I'm going to pair with somebody.
Thank you very much.
We are going to debate issues of development, especially entrepreneurship. I know you are an entrepreneur.
Yes,
I know you are a farmer.
Yes.
So we'll get opportunity, if God will, and we pray you'll come back and share with us. But looking into the camera, I wanted to say your last word. I wanted to speak to Kenyans. I wanted to speak to the Migori residents and Ruparagana residents as we wind up. Your last word to them. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, fellow Kenyans. I want to first of all take this chance once again to wish each and every one of us Merry Xmas and Happy New Year in advance. It's my prayer that God will cover us with the blood of Jesus, that all that we undertake and whatever thing we do, wherever we go, in all our undertakings, it's my prayer that we shall do it with moderations, taking into consideration that we are in a time that a lot of bad things do happen. It's my wish that we really need to do things in the best way, considering the fact that January is coming with a lot of responsibilities, where we shall be needed to pay fees to schools and also take our children to various colleges and meet other needs. So I once again say that in all that we do, we celebrate, we drink, we eat, whatever thing we do it with moderations. Thank you. May God bless all of us. In Jesus' name.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for having time with us.
Karibu.
We have come to a close of this session, and thank you so much, our dear viewers. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your comments. Remember, here is the place to be. Remember, Blackman TV, that is BTV Kenya, is your home live television network. We'll bring you more of such discussions as we gear towards the end of the year. We'll let you know where we'll be fellowshipping come 25th of December and also on fast. Please remember to keep tuned to BTV. Till next time, have a wonderful afternoon, have a wonderful Monday. I'm your host, Gage Isaiah. God bless you.